So won't you fly with me? I wanna make you feel alright. Alright with
I'm gonna stereotypes. Hey guys, it's Alexis with Crazy Creative, and today I am doing a video on New York stereotypes. So I am from upstate New York, and I decided, well, this would be a good idea of a video to do. I had gotten a request to do another stereotype video, and I'll be putting out more of those now. So I guess I can start off. Alright, the first one is that we're all bad drivers. Now, this is not true. Despite the fact that I don't drive yet, so I don't really have the experience of other drivers. You'd have to be a pretty good driver to drive in New York State in the winter, because otherwise there would be a lot more accidents than there actually are. Though, I can't really speak much on this because I don't drive, so just, you guys, if you have any different opinions on these stereotypes, if you're from New York, go ahead and comment, tell me what you see differently about them. Like, do you think that you're all bad drivers in upstate New York? I don't think that's the case. Alright, next is that we all have the city accents. Now, the thing is, I clearly don't. Most people I know don't. It's because we're not from the city. I even know somebody from the city who doesn't have any of the stereotypical city accent. Now, I mean, that's like, I can't even mimic the New York City accent that people say that all New Yorkers have. It bothers me when people assume those things, but then again, I guess that's kind of why I'm making this video, because it kind of points out to you guys that not all things you hear about somewhere are true. Alright, next is that New York is all city. That's not true in the least. I'm about 5 hours from New York City, and about 15 to 20 minutes from the nearest city. So, obviously that's not true. Alright, next is that we're all rude and impatient. Now, I will say that can be true, because quite a lot of people are rude and impatient. I can be rude and impatient. Everyone can, but we're not all always rude and impatient, so it's also kind of false. And some people are never really rude. And another one is that we're all loud all the time. I have plenty of friends who barely even speak. Yes, a lot of people I know, and myself, can be very loud, but we're not always loud, and we're not all always loud. I think New York is the best place to live. No. A lot of people might think that they're better than other people judged on where they live, but most people I know don't judge based on that. It's just not something I've heard too often, to be honest, is, oh, I'm from New York, I'm better than you. No, I never hear that. Alright, next is that New York is not a safe place to live. Honestly, I'd say it's one of the safest places to live. I think we barely, if ever, get tornadoes. And where I'm from, we never get hit by hurricanes. There's so many natural disasters that we avoid just by our geographical location. So I actually think it is a safer place to live, like, nature-wise. But there's also where people will say that it's just dangerous to, like, live in the city. Now, I personally think any city could be dangerous. I wouldn't say that New York City is any more dangerous than, let's say, I don't know, some other city. I can't think of the name. But I wouldn't say that based on where you're from really determines how dangerous it is. I mean, I don't know the crime rates, so that's not really something I can give you, like, statistical information on either, so. Alright, next is that we don't care what people from other states think. Now, that can be true. I'd say that's very true, because most of the time, we'll either think, oh, we're good enough, or sometimes people will think they're better, but I'd just say, I don't really care what people from other places think. It's kind of funny to see what their stereotypes are, which is the main reason I'm doing this video. So, yeah, that's all I really gotta say on that one. You're judged on where in New York you're from. Now, that is very, very true. I'll notice some people around where I live, which is central or upstate New York, have these stereotypes about the people from Manhattan or New York City, and even from other places in upstate. We just seem to judge people like, oh, you're from, I don't know, you're from Albany, you're this, you're from Syracuse or that. We don't really all do that, but I have come across quite a few people who do. Alright, I don't know where this next one came from, but that we're all obsessed with pizza. Now, I understand people will say that New York has good pizza. I have heard that before. Honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of pizza, and I actually have a few friends that don't like it, so I just kind of threw this one in here because I found it kind of funny. Alright, the next one is that we've all been to the city or live in the city. Now, I already established that we don't all live in the city, but no, not all of us have been to the city. I have plenty of friends who, when I said that I'm going to New York City this weekend, they got like really excited and said that they wish they could come because they've never been there. I know plenty of people who've never been. Alright, our next one is that we're always in a rush. Now, I will say that is more true in the city, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive though, because I don't live in the city, but it's not as true up here. Honestly, I would say a lot of people in upstate can actually be pretty lazy. I mean, yeah, we can be in a rush, we can be lazy. It's basically like anywhere else. It's not like we're any more in a rush than other people. Our next one is that you're judged by where you went to school. That does seem to happen, not too much. I don't hear it too often, but I have heard it before. And the last one is that upstate New York hates the city. That is false. I've been to the city, I think twice, and I'm going this weekend. I really like being there. I think it's really cool to be in the city because I've never lived in a city. I've always lived in upstate and relatively away from a city. So, I think it's pretty cool, the concept of being in New York City, or really any city. Like, I've been to Washington, D.C. I like all the buildings, and this sounds weird, but I don't even know how some of these are stereotypes. Some of them are just kind of random things, but it's what I found, so I decided to make a video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, can't speak. Okay, well, I also am thinking of using a new intro. I will show that to you guys on the next video, and I do now have an outro that will play now. Now.